Hi, Leo. I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into this, I'd like to set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Okay, so I was listening to something today, and this is coming to mind now. Leo is a very creative sign. The fifth house speaks about creativity, creative projects, the confidence we have to channel our energy into something that we want to create. And in the pre-shuffle, I was looking at possibly even something that you want to be doing, something that you want to be pursuing on the creative end, but you may be struggling when it comes to self-confidence even. So maybe this is something that you're thinking about. You're like, am I holding myself back from something that I want to be doing? I'm seeing you move away from something. Some type of situation that just wasn't what you wanted it to be any longer. And you may feel like you're getting to a place where maybe you're getting ready to have a conversation about this, maybe bring something to light, let someone know that you're moving on from something that just isn't working for you anymore. It's like you're recognizing as well that you can feel fulfilled elsewhere. I'm seeing for a lot of you that this has to do, I'm hearing with a relationship. I'm seeing something going on at work potentially. I'm hearing erudite. With the King of Swords here. It looks like there's a matrix of people involved. I'm hearing that, a matrix. I'm looking at the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups here. Yeah, it's like in your heart, you know that you want to move away from something. I'm hearing it's not what it used to be. It could have been something you got involved with out of like necessity, or you thought that it could be what you wanted it to be at one point in time, but now in thinking about it, you're like, I'm searching for something else and I want to move. Maybe you're ready for like the next chapter or the next step of something. And it's about having a conversation with someone. For some of you, this is about having a conversation with your boss. You could perceive your boss to be like almost in a parental role or somebody that's nurturing to you. And maybe this is going to be a difficult discussion that you're having with this person that you're going to be moving on. Like, I'm seeing there definitely be like some type of sentimentality tied into the connection that you have with this person. Or this company even. Yeah, but you recognize you need a break. Maybe you feel like you gave all you could to something and now it's time for you to take care of yourself too. Because I'm seeing you preparing for a big change. And maybe in the past you wouldn't have had a dialogue like this, and maybe you feel like it's the right thing to do in this situation to bring things up, maybe even in a more formal sense, or maybe just get on confronting something. Yeah, it really seems like this can be always different aspects of yourself, but I'm seeing potentially that there could be a few different people involved in this process that you're going through. I'm looking at the King and the Queen of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups, and I'm also looking at Scorpio and Virgo here. So it seems like you're going into like maybe your own space. It feels kind of like a cocoon that you're entering into, and I'm seeing that when you come out on the other side of this, there's the hope of you finding what it is that you're looking for. For a lot of you, this is related to finances and finding like some type of job or career or structure that is going to be providing to you what it is that you want, both on the financial end and also the emotional end too. And there's a sense of like really wanting to reflect on this as well, to figure out how to get to that place, how to also move on from something that you're ready to move on from, and how to have that conversation in the first place. I'm seeing that this is what the plan is. And maybe you're working too on like maybe how you want to set boundaries as well. For some of you, this feels kind of like a shift or an awakening that you've been having that's gotten you more in touch with yourself and maybe abilities that you have too, Leo. Things that are innate to you that you want to be expressing. And so because you know you're going through a big change right now, you're ready to make some sort of plan when it comes to the career front. And maybe also working out how you're going to get paid too, because there may be a sense of being like, well, I know that this is something that I'm interested in doing, but how am I actually going to make money doing that? And like, is this something that I'm going to feel attached to long term? Like, what is it that I'm actually feeling? So I'm getting that's also why this reflection is needed. And I'm seeing a big ending. I'm getting that this is in relation to whatever segment that was of your life that you're getting finished now with as you're moving through. It seems like a bit of a transition period that you're moving through right now. And you know that there's also something that needs to end in order for this new area of your life to be beginning, this new chapter. So I'm seeing you move away from something. I'm seeing you also being like really clear cut and direct about this. For some of you, you may recognize that there's the potential for like more and more people to be involved in this, and you may want to keep this more quiet. It's like really being deliberate with who you're sharing your information with, because you don't want this to turn into like a big ordeal almost. That's what it looks like to me. And maybe you know as well that because you're moving on to do something new, people are going to be very curious about what this is that you're doing. And I'm seeing you just like only give the information that you feel is necessary. And I'm seeing you like not really having any unnecessary conversations, or at least trying to avoid them to the best of your ability. To protect yourself is what I'm hearing. I'm looking at the Lovers now. It seems like things are pretty stable within a particular relationship that you have with someone. Doesn't have to be romantic, although it can be. You may feel like this relationship that you're getting into or that you're maintaining is supported by those around you that you care about receiving support from. This can always be your guides too. Yeah, it's like the more balanced and centered you are, the easier that I'm seeing interpersonal relationships are. And maybe you even feel like you're now able to build with another person or those around you in a way that you hadn't been able to before, until you got more centered and more grounded. Yeah, I'm looking at the Ten of Cups. I'm looking at the Hierophant. This feels like something very committed that is going on here. And it looks like a relationship with someone too. It's like one that this can always be something that you're thinking about too, but for some of you, I'm seeing that this is already something that you have. It's like you and this person are together. I'm seeing there's definitely a lot of fulfillment that you feel within the relationship. There's definitely a lot of stability. You feel connected, like not just on the physical front. This is like something emotionally and spiritually that you feel connected with. You may have shared guides with this person too. I'm seeing this relationship being watched over by spirit. I'm looking at Gemini and Taurus here, and now I'm looking at Aquarius. It seems like some major healing work that has been being done too. Maybe you're recognizing as well that you have a soul contract with someone, and at times that may feel intimidating, but it's kind of like you're recognizing what you're meant to be doing on your path, and you know that the more grounded you are, the less conflicted you're going to be feeling. And the less also, it's like when you're able to balance out that internal conflict, it means that externally you're not going to be having these conflicts either. And maybe this is something that you're learning as well, like from experience. Because in theory, this may have been something that you were clear on, but maybe you didn't have the opportunity to exercise this, and now that you are, you're really seeing the effects of this. Yeah, it looks like a lesson in love. Yeah, it feels very much like, so in the past, you could have gone through situations where it's like when the ocean became rough, there may have been a tendency to bail at times or to look for the next better thing. But now there's a sense of being like, I'm with somebody that I really feel fulfilled by and I care about, and somebody that I want to truly put in the work to work things out with. And because of the decision to do that, I'm seeing that it's like opening something up for you when it comes to you being able to hold on to the things that you care about, being able to be vulnerable, being also willing to work things out, compromise, making adjustments as well, communicating. This feels like a very high level connection. Like I'm seeing both parties doing a lot of work to maintain the relationship. And I'm seeing something that is absolutely celebrated. Maybe you're seeing this from those around you, but I'm seeing like even on a higher realm that this is a relationship that's celebrated too. And it's one that is like moving along the path of the healing journey too, something that you feel destined to be a part of, something that feels very much in alignment with where you are and where you feel like you're growing to as well. This is something that you also feel like would embrace you as you continue to grow. It's like the relationship also grows with you. A lot of patience that it's taken too. Even when things happen unexpectedly. Because I'm seeing too that throughout the relationship, there could be these, like maybe big moments that happen, or maybe times when you're caught off guard, and there's a sense of really being patient and working through these things. It's like when something happens unexpectedly, rather than being reactive, there's a really, I'm hearing citrine. I think that may be a stone. I think there's a sense of like really grounding your energy even when unexpected things are going on. And as I said before, it's like rather than being reactive, there's a sense of calming, centering, and responding appropriately as you see to these situations. And you're also seeing that instead of there being like this animosity or chaos that happens because of these things, like these big changes and unexpected things that happen, instead of there being like chaos and destruction or getting into an argument with your partner, you're seeing that like the more you are remaining calm and centered and steady, the more you're also seeing that mirrored from your partner as well. So it's like you creating a safe space for yourself, you're also creating a safe space for this relationship to be nurtured and to grow with all of its potential. In all of its potential. And it seems like you're completing something, maybe like some type of concept that kind of, I don't know, maybe because you hadn't seen this modeled for you, it wasn't something that you had experienced, and you maybe had a hard time grounding yourself when you felt out of balance, but because of getting to this place where you've like really grown in emotional maturity, and learn certain skills maybe that you needed to pick up on or like needed to remember, things like that. It's like now you feel like you have clarity even when things are going on around you that feel unsteady or unstable or unknown to you. Rather than like panicking and being reactive within that space, I'm seeing you like really ground and hold on to yourself here and hold on to your center. This really feels too like so much of cutting out and cutting down on like any type of drama that's going on as well. And just like moving with the dance of these experiences that you're having too. And seeing that the outcome of that is something lasting for you as you continue to build. Because I'm seeing like definitely like a lasting sense of fulfillment and joy and safety. And something that very much matters to you and something that you absolutely do feel a high level of connection with as well. And there's also a lot of like self-learning, self-understanding, and also taking the time to understand someone else as well. I'm looking at Saturn, Sagittarius, Mars, Taurus, Gemini, and Aquarius here. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.